Welcome back to Gale Force Winds. Here we are at the Energy NL conference right here in St. John's, Newfoundland. I want to tell you what a great day that we're having. We are sponsored by EverWind Fuels, and what a great company to work with. I'm Alan Dale. This is Jerry Carew. Corey, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Corey Tucker. I'm president of ICI Innovations Incorporated.
Yep.
We work with EverWind Fuels, they're one of our most important customers right now. So it's great to be down here and working alongside them.
Now, Corey, you haven't always been working at ICI. Tell me about how all this came about. Where'd you come from?
Well, I went to Memorial University. I did.
Start at kindergarten, please.
No, not going that far back. But started at Memorial University. Folks did a geography degree like yourself, and but focused on mapping and remote sensing, and then went into the geographic information systems industry. I left Newfoundland in the mid-90s, went to California for 13 years, lived in Los Angeles, and worked developing GIS software.
Wow.
And then moved back here to Newfoundland, brought my family back, all my American kids, and back in 2008. And did some contract work, did some consulting work with GIS, with Newfoundland government, and then other governments in Atlantic Canada. And really saw a need for more of what we were doing in the corporate space. So we launched ICI Innovations in 2014, really to focus on providing business solutions, really data visualization, data information management. We're seeing that a lot of companies of our corporate clients really weren't managing their information very well and weren't making good use of it, as effective as it could be, and that's really what we try to achieve, and that's what we're doing for EverWind Fuels, for example. So
the software came, it was your vision for the software package?
Certainly part of it. We've got a great team, so it's not all, I can't take full credit for that, but certainly the vision here is to try and make something easy to use but powerful. So our secret spice is sort of we make it easy to work with large volumes of data. So we deal with not thousands but millions of records of information. We can pull in like pack ice information or well data. So a lot it works very well in the resource sector, but also in other areas as well, not just resources, demographic information, working like service provision for governments and so on like that. But there's that, but also we take what traditionally, like you think of an environmental assessment. People may be familiar with that. Typically when you get them, they're very big documents. They're PDFs with a lot of maps within them. And they're pretty hard to get through. And if you want to do something with the data you're seeing in the map, you can't. You get what the author gave you. So really what we do is we try to take that information and put it out there so you can just read it online, because everyone wants to read everything online. But then you can open up a figure and there's data, but then you can explore it. You can interact with it. You can go further than what the authors necessarily may have thought about when they did their report.
I mean, that's disruptive technology right there, right? I mean, when you think about a report would come in and, people would pull pieces out of that were relevant to them. But what you're talking about is a whole different level of interaction with data.
Right. We did work for the Impact Assessment Agency of Canada for the offshore regional assessment for offshore drilling, offshore Newfoundland, and that's there's 650 pages of information that all this knowledge, and then over 200 layers of data pulled together, and you can sort of read through the report and then look at all the figures, but then you have all the data there at your fingertips, so you can dive deep and go as far as you want. So it really empowers people using the application, and it's available to the public for nothing.
And who are the key users of the data? Are they decision makers? Are they people in the field? Who's using the data?
All of that. All of them. So we see people globally using the application. So if you're interested in offshore Newfoundland and Labrador, you're going to look. There's a couple applications that we developed. One for the Oil Corporation Newfoundland and Labrador, their Insight system. That's based on our software. We work very closely with them, so if you want to know anything about mid-ocean conditions or whatever, you go to their application, look at, and if you want to know environmental concerns, you go look at the regional assessment, so you can pull it all together. So you get a complete picture, and you can be anywhere in the world, and all the information is at your fingertips.
And the data that you're pulling in, open source, or is it a combination of things?
Combination. So a lot of the information comes from government agencies, Department of Fisheries, Oceans, for example, Wildlife Service. So we work, closely with data providers to get that information and keep it up to date. When a lot of our customers we work with, we collect information, weather information. So we're kind of specialists also of getting data, whatever format it's in, getting it in, and then making it usable. So that's the struggle that a lot of people have. You can get the data, but then how do you put it in and make sense of it?
Right. Now, industries that you're working in presently, And what industries are you focusing on? So 2 questions. What are you currently working in, and where are you kind of focused?
We're really focused energy, resource management. That is our bread and butter at this time. We specialize really starting with projects that are in their infancy. There's small teams that come together with big ideas, but they need everything. They need to pull their data together. They need to put it all in one place, be able to visualize it. They have all their. When you think about these resource projects, it's an information gathering process for years.
Yeah.
How do you start it right, and then build a system over time that uses that, and you can pass from one stage of the project to the next. So that's starting with those smaller projects and then helping them grow bigger is one of our specialties. But we also are looking. We do work with for example, the Maritime Exchange for the Delaware River and Bay down in the United States. Visualizing all of the ship traffic moving up and down the Delaware Bay and River, up to Wilmington, Philadelphia.
It's a busy spot.
Busy spot.
Yeah.
Hundreds of ships moving real-time data, pulling it in, and then what's on the ships. So, facilitating that. So we basically can work with many different industries.
Yeah.
But energy seems to be our sweet spot right now, probably because of where we're located in Newfoundland and Labrador. But we're certainly interested in working with lots of different types of industries.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So is the tool, is it a software package that you license out to the customer? Like, what's the product look like?
It's a product. It's called ReportViz. So it is a licensed product. You can purchase a subscription for that annually. And it integrates, basically, you can stand alone in a system within a company or on the web. It's a web-based application. And it integrates very tightly with Office 365. So if you're an Office 365 user, we can deploy in their environment very quickly.
Right.
You have secure access. And we do a lot of work with SharePoint.
Right.
SharePoint is our other sort of expertise. So managing your documents, for example. A lot of documents have a spatial component to it.
Right.
You may have geotechnical information.
Yeah.
They'll access reports. Well, those reports, it's really easy to find information in a map versus a complicated folder system. Mm-hmm. So we use a map-based interface to find information you're looking for, but also we build custom interfaces on top of SharePoint for quickly uploading your information and with all the right information so you can search it and find it, and then be able to sort of access your documents very quickly. So over time with our customers, they'll collect thousands of documents, and very quickly they're drowning in folders that nobody can find anything. So we really make it easy for people to upload their data, say here's all the information about the document, then they can search it and download it from anywhere.
Now, big data like that, of course, and industries that you're working in, some of these decisions are multi-million-dollar decisions.
Absolutely.
There's competition involved. You must have a lot of security around the data?
Absolutely. Yep, security is paramount.
Yep.
So, we have access to the data itself and to the application itself through online, and we, integrate with Office 365, but we can work with any customer's security model and put it in place. But then we have even more restrictions at the database level in the back end, so that you can't sort of drill down into it unless you're authenticated.
Right. Yeah. And layered kind of access
Absolutely.
to it all, right? And I guess the biggest thing for all of this would be ease of use, right? I mean, this would be the one big thing I'm sure a lot of customers would be saying. How easy is this to use? Because people would be using it differently, as you say. In each company, people working out in the field would want different access to it as to the corporate boardroom making decisions on it. So how easy is the product to use?
Yeah, that's very important to us. Like I said, I came from a geographic information systems background, and a lot of the mapping-based systems you see today are GIS focused. They come from a GIS vendor, really intended for people that know GIS. Most people have no idea about GIS.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us to make it as easy as possible to use. We rely heavily on videos to show people how to dive in and work. But it comes back to that report-based. Everybody can open up a report and go through a table of contents and read down through and click a button to show something on the screen. So that's our primary way that you sort of get in and start working with our system. But then if you have more expertise or if you use the tool more and more, you can dive deeper. So we try to make it as open and barrier-free to users as possible.
Right. Now, with this sort of excitement around renewable energy here in Newfoundland in the last couple of years, it must be really exciting for you because it opens up a whole new conversation and a whole new dimension of data coming in, right? So you're no longer looking at seabed stuff. Now you're looking at bird migration patterns and wind. And
exactly. One of our customers we've been working with since 2018 is Blue Earth Renewables. They're based at headquartered out of Calgary. So we've been supporting their visualization of their system, managing their document information in SharePoint. So they have solar farms, wind farms, small hydro across North America. So we're very familiar with the renewable sector, but we've been doing it all in other parts of the country and in the United States. So it's really nice to be focused on looking and doing this sort of stuff in Newfoundland and Labrador on the East Coast and Nova Scotia as well. So yeah, it's good to see this part of the world getting into on this business.
It's good to see that knowledge transfer coming this way with all of that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And using it here, that's fantastic. I have to tell you, this sounds like an amazing product. And so how should people get access and learn more about it?
Well, they can reach out, certainly go to our website, icinnovations.com, and we'll be happy to provide more information, provide a demonstration. Some of the applications I mentioned, like Insight through the Oil Corporation of Newfoundland and Labrador, that's a free public application. Mm-hmm. The regional assessment for oil and gas, offshore drilling, that's a public application, so people can start using those systems today. So we certainly can provide links to anybody who reaches out to us.
Wow, Alan, you know what I like about economic opportunity? It brings bright minds like this back to the province. Yeah. Man, oh man, fantastic. Thank you for bringing the family back here. Thank you for creating this business.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was another wonderful edition of Gale Force Wind, sponsored by EverWind Fuels, right here at the Newfoundland Energy Expo in St. John's. I have to tell you, that sounds like a pretty cool software package, and I hope more companies reach out and learn a little bit about it. Sounds like you got a lot of knowledge that you're bringing to the table already in the renewable space, and a great past history working right here in the energy sector. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. We really appreciate it.